How's it going, guys? So I want to introduce you guys to our indicator FX Social Rogue and FX Social Rogue signals. So I'll tell you the difference between both, how to use it, and why I love this tool and how simple it is to use. So let's just kind of dive into it. If you don't have it yet, no worries. If you request it for indicators, you're going to have the indicator. So you'll be able to give us 24 to 48 hours to put it in there. In order to find it, you're going to go click here. You're going to go to invited scripts, and you're going to look for FX Social Rogue or FX Social Rogue signals. Let's start with FX Social Rogue. And then I'll tell you how to use FX Social Rogue signals. Now, let's say that let's set it up really quickly. Now, let's kind of go over these settings. So these two filters uses an EMA, and what that does is it filters out the buys and the sells. So any sells that you get, if you use this filter, for example, I'm using the 18, for example, on the 30-minute chart. So let's just give you an example so you can see what I mean. This EMA is the 18. I just added that. You want to find how to get EMA, just put an EMA, and it will be called the moving average exponential. So I changed this EMA to 18 on 4 hours, right? So basically, if the candle, only time it calls a sell or a buy is when, because it's already using our algorithm. But to filter out all the buys and the sells, we added where you can filter out where do you want the buys and sells. Because, so for example, this sell, only time that it's going to call a sell is if it's touching or below. Touching or below the 50. The 18 EMA. And the only time it's going to call a buy is in it's touching or above. But let's say, for example, I wanted to only call, let's change this to 50. So now, for example, let me find one. This sell would not be called. So just to show you how it works, let's put that 50 right there. As you can see, now this became a sell. So you can kind of figure out, by back testing what works for you. And as you can see, this 50 works really well. So I have it on, and you choose what day too. So on the EMA, I chose the 4 hour. Let's say I chose the daily instead, right? So it didn't really change much for the EMA on the daily. Let's say if I change it to the, I got to change it to the daily. There it goes. So that's the daily, right? That means that only buys would be called above it, and then the sells would be called below it. So for example, these sells that are called right now, if we change this to the daily, now it only called the trades that you want. So let's kind of switch it back up how we had it to begin with. We'll put it back on 18 for now, and we'll put it on 18 for this part. Now, the next thing we're going to discuss about this is you can, if you want to see, how well it does with how many pips, for backtesting purposes, you can say, okay, I like how well it hits 20, 30 pips or 90 pips. You can say, okay, let's say I only want to look at one, right? So you take away that. Now, let's say that I only want to go for 30 pips every time. Let's see how well the strategy does at 30 pips. So it did a sell, and the TP would have hit right here, and you would have won that trade. A buy, it hit TP right here. Sell, it was wrong, and it told you to stop loss. So you can alert it to tell you what stop loss. Buy, you would have won that trade for 30 pips. So we lost one trade. Sell, lost that trade. Buy, lost that trade. Buy, won that trade. Sell, lost that trade. Buy, won that trade. And you really could have got way more pips. So let's say, I can get way more pips off this particular setup. So let's say I want to go for 90 pips. So that's 90 pips. So as you can see, now let's say that you want to have it where you see 20 and 90. And to give you more signals also. So now you get more. So that's pretty much how you use it, guys. Now, when you get alerts, I'm going to have this set on a that I'm gonna have this set off of this, so you're gonna get alerts to your phone from Rogue for the 30-minute chart, and so every time it gives you an alert, you can go back and test this. And sometimes we end up changing this because we do a lot of back testing. So you know what? We like the 1 hour more on this. We'll send out an update and let you know. But if you want to copy what our setup is so you can see what we're doing, let's put this back at this EMA back at 18 on the 4 hour. And let's put this will be the 4 hour also. Let's put it back on the 4 hour. This is our setup, right? So this is how we tell people to trade it. When you're looking at this, let's say we call an alert, right? And we call a buy. And we're calling a buy for 20 pips and 90 pips every time. So if you do take this trade, you know exactly the TP and we get the stop loss, but you can use your own stop loss at your own discretion. You don't have to copy our stop loss. I suggest anytime you call a stop loss, look at it first, right, put it in your charts, and like let's say it calls like a stop loss for, let's say it called this buy, but the stop loss was right here, maybe, but you're looking at say, okay, this buy could go to at least right here. Let me move the stop loss here, and that could be your stop loss, right? So I always tell people look at the last low and then put it 5 to 10 pips below the last low. So it's about 10 pips. So that would be, that's the last low for a buy. And the same thing for a sell. Let's say it caught the sell. I said, you know what? I have my stop loss above the last high. So about 10 pips. So right there. So I would call my sell. Now that's your stop loss. You know, and of course you don't have to do it that aggressive. Actually, I would have probably did it not right there, but right here. So it would tip me out at around 20 pips. So, but okay, when we call a trade, what makes you want to take this trade? Now, if you're looking at it, remember you have the EMA on here. So let's say that it calls let's say that we're looking at the charts. And right now we see it keep calling it's a buy trend. You just look at the lines going up, right? So anytime it calls a sell, I know this is probably just a fake out. See, look, because it's on up. So whenever it calls a sell, if you see that the line is on the uptrend, you only take the buy trades. And when you see the 18 EMA on a downtrend, you only take the sell trade. So for example, I'll ignore this. Buy would have won all these trades. You would have won all these trades. Would I take the sell? No. Look at this trend, guys. Now look at the sell. It caught the sell. It broke the trend. Would I have taken this trade? No, because I still see that's on an uptrend. I'm waiting for it to actually change to a downtrend. Now, would I have taken this trade right here? No, because it was still on an uptrend. But now I'm starting to see it slope. Now, would I have taken this trade? Sometimes. Now here's another trick. If it caused a sell, definitely a brand new sell, too far from the line, it could possibly come back to this line. So be mindful of that. Say, you know what? I don't want to take the trade because it could pull back a lot, and I don't feel like getting a lot of drawdown. So I'll just wait for a sell that's close to here, or I'll wait for the market to pull back to the line for the sell. So you don't have to take the sell or buy. When it calls trade, like so for example, when it called this buy, if it called up here, I would have waited for it to come down here, then take the trade. So I'll just watch the trade for the pullback. So this sell, I would watch the trade for the pullback. So it did the sell, it won. But let's say that we waited, right? We're patient. You could have I would have waited for it to get around here somewhere. And so you know what? I see it pulling back to here. Now that's only a 13 pip potential loss, so I'll take the trade here, and now I'll take the trade, and then boom, it caught the sell. Will I have taken this trade? Yeah, I would take this trade now because now we actually have momentum going down. So I actually see this as a sell trend. Would I have taken this buy? No, because we're on a downtrend, right? I would wait for a reason. Now would I have taken this buy? Yes, because now I see it broke this 18. Came back, and now it's starting to trend up. So guys, the strategy is really simple. Like I said, we give you the 20 pip and the 90 pip take profits for everything. It's your due diligence to come back on this chart and to actually look at the charts, and now let's say that you say, you know what, Brandon, I like 30 minutes, but I want a TP and stop loss, and I want to be alerted for my own particular pairs, Brandon, or I want to see my own type of signals sent to me, right? So we have another one called FX Social Road Signals. So let's hide this one. So this is the signals, right? So you can set it up the same way. Let's say we have it on we want to use the 4 hour, or let's say you have your own. Let's say you have your own. So instead, you say I like the 50 more, Brandon, and you can let me know how it goes, because I'm not perfect, so you might find a better setup than me. If you start winning trades a lot, let support know. Let us see some of your back testing. Let us see what trades you've taken, and then we'll use our decisions to say, you know what, we like this. Let's share this with the group. So let's say you want your own signals, and so I want to do 50, and I want to go for 30 pips TP for one, and I want to have maybe a 70, and so you can have it like this. And I like to hide this though, so take this part away. Now, when you want to set up a signal service, right, for yourself, you can turn it on real quick, because I'll just keep both on, right? But they're gonna, and because you keep them, if you put them at the same thing, let's say that I have this at 50, 30, 70, then I'll just put this at 50, 30, 30, 70. See, now they're going to be the same exact thing. You see where it causes sell. So you don't need to have both on at the time, right? You just have one. But the reason that we have this part is because this helps you get alert for the TP1, the entry, the stop loss, everything. So if you want to be alerted for that kind of stuff, what you can do is, hide this at first. You click on top of this. Make sure you're on the chart that you want to be on. Hit add alert. You're going to delete all this stuff, and you're going to copy and paste this. Now this will be below the video so you can have it, but you can copy and paste this, and it's basically going to give you the TP and the TP1, TP2, the entry, the pair, and the buy or sell, everything when you have this. So we hit create, continue. So now anytime it calls a trade, you're going to be alerted to your phone, and it's going to give you the setup that you did, and it's going to give you a TP. Now, one other thing, let me go back on there. Let's edit that alert. That's how you can edit your alerts. You can delete it. Now you have to, in order to have a lot of alerts, you have to be on the paid one. So you might want to pay for the $14 a month, or the $30 a month, or $60 a month, depending on how many alerts you want to set for yourself. But let's say that we edit this, and so this is where you notify yourself. This is when it expires. I have mine open-ended. You can only do that, I believe, like on the higher package. It might be 60. You can play sound. You might want to send to your email to SMS. So, oops, I don't want to call it that. So what that can do for you is it will send you all the stuff, send email to SMS. So basically it'll send you it to your phone, so you can basically have it where you can have it alert you for your TP stop loss to your phone as a text message. So you can basically have your own personal signal service sent to yourself. So hopefully you guys enjoy this service, mess around with it. If you don't know how to do send the email to SMS, I would say use YouTube. How does TradingView do send email to SMS, and they'll tell you how to set that part up. So you can have, the entry, the stop loss, take profit. But once you set the signal up, right? You already set it up. We'll save this, whatever. I will hide this one, and I would turn this on. I will hide this one. Okay, there. So I would hide this one, and I would just have it only show this. It's the same stuff. It just looks more clean. Now, one other trick, if you want to say, you know what, I want it to alert me when I said close the trade, then you will have to do an alert on this one, where you can right click on this one, add alert. It's a little different. So you're going to look for short SL and say, you got to type it in for this one. So it'll be like, So do a close early for this one, right? And so let's say I created this. Let's say once per bar when the bar's closed. Do a short. Let me know when it's a short for GBP. You know, if you want to turn this on, also obviously things like that. GBP close early. Or you can say close short early, or you can say sell, whatever you know. Whatever helps you know what it is. You can hit create, and then you can right click on here again, add alert, and say pick the signal, and then say once per bar. Let me know on a long stop loss too. So when it hits a stop loss for GBP, JPY, long, close early. So what does this all do? Let's say you trade your favorite 2 pairs or 3 pairs on whatever time frame you have a whole signal service where it tells you when you should close the trade early. It gives you a stop loss just in case you want to do it early also. And if you're wrong, you can always close the trades early through that. And it'll give you, so using this one, the regular one, this is where you set your stop losses to alert you early. This one is where you set your TP and stop loss. So you can use this first to figure out what you like, and then you can set up the signal service for yourself right here. And of course, we send out alerts to the group also if you want to take the ones that we set up.